start. Okay.
Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, being able to give a good and clear presentation to a public audience is a skill that you and your future employer will value greatly. So, great really means large, like it's about the extent of something. So,
Okay. Yep. We don't have problem with this one. And
mhm.
also, what about the rest, please?
Prospective employers invariably ask for your experience in using these key skills during interviews. You need to be able to articulate what makes a good and poor presentation and offer evidence for your knowledge. So, when you are asked to give a talk or produce a poster as part of your studies, recognize the importance of developing the skills of delivery as well as conveying the
So
content.
why you didn't use as long as or rather than? Yeah, this is
Hmm.
one of the question that you can
Okay,
ask.
okay. Rather than would imply that you need to focus on delivery and not content. Whereas what they're saying is it needs to be both.
Yeah. Perfect. So
Um, so as long as could work, but grammatically it would need a little bit of a change to the sentence. So um, recognize the importance of developing skills of delivery as long as you also convey the content.
as
So
long as you, okay.
you kind of can't just use it. You kind of got to shift the verb form and specify the subject again. Otherwise, as long as doesn't quite work here.
So I have one question here. When you said that,
As long as in this context would be more about making sure that you are also doing something. So I might say to my child, you can watch TV as long as you've already finished your homework.
as long as you use a
Yeah,
subject at the beginning.
yeah. I will let you watch TV as long as you've also
Oh, I got it. As
already
long
finished
as
your homework. Um, or you, yeah, so as long as can be used in a couple of different ways, because you're right, you could also use it in a strictly temporal way, like this film will continue as long as the director
so after as long as
decided it would.
we should use always a subject, not ing form, for example, conveying the content, for example.
Yeah, I can just say it doesn't fit here.
Okay,
I,
yeah.
there may be circumstances where you could use it, but in effect, as well as is being used instead of and.
Yeah. And perfect. Oh, it's like and, you're right. It's a
Yeah,
better point. And the
yeah.
last question is this one. Yeah, not these two. Yep. So, while oral presentation allow for more information and more in-depth delivery, is it correct?
Mm. Posters check your ability to present information succinctly, and present it in an attractive and message-focused way, while oral presentations allow for more information and a more in-depth delivery.
So,
I
so
don't feel like that's true.
yeah, yeah, that was actually not my problem. Questions. Another question: why while is correct? It doesn't have any meaning. They
Hmm.
said.
So it's a contrast, like this happens with these while this happens with these.
Mm.
It's a way of establishing a contrast. But I don't think it's actually true because I
Yeah,
think
while
we
is not
we
correct. Yeah.
say what an oral presentation might allow you to do is to respond to your audience and then have a meaningful discussion afterwards. But in terms of the amount of information and in depth, I don't think that that's true. I think written,
So okay,
um,
while is correct. Not
yeah,
correct. Sorry.
while is grammatically correct.
Grammatically is correct. So the reason that you said that it might not be correct because it is not completely paradoxical or,
I
uh,
I think I think it's just an untrue sentence.
yeah.
Like it's not true to reality, but I think grammatically it's while.
So
Is that the correct answer?
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So which word do you choose instead of while?
It's actually not it's not
Also,
about the word, it's about what they're saying about oral presentations versus posters. Um, I actually think oral presentations need to be more message focused and posters have more scope for information and depth.
yep.
So I actually think it's the other way around.
No, no, I agree with you.
It's deeply confusing. This
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not about grammar though. It's about what they're actually saying. Content.
Yeah. And also regarding the last ones, can you explain why? Can you explain the last sentence? Explaining actually.
Yeah.
Expl- I know it's very obvious somehow when
Mm.
you know the answer actually.
Mm. In both modes, you will probably find
Find
yourself
yourself taking.
taking
What
questions.
does
That
it mean
is,
taking question? It means that people ask you question, yeah?
yeah, that's right. It means that
Okay.
you're ready to
To
be
answer
asked
question.
questions. Yeah, ready to answer,
Uh,
and explaining your ideas.
so
So, the others are all about
no, I got
like,
no.
Explaining.
The other is okay. Yeah, we don't have any
yeah.
problem. Okay, we got it. I think we don't have problem
Explaining.
with this one. And the last question that we have here. Yeah, what is the difference between articulate and explain here?
So it really, to articulate is to express something more clearly. So to be able to articulate what makes a good and poor presentation, you need to be able to explain it. You need to be able to express it clearly.
So
In this sentence, it's being used pretty much as a synonym for explain.
okay, we can say
Mm.
I need to okay I am able to articulate or explain.
It has
Okay.
the extra connotation because it's also a state of being. Being articulate is someone who can explain clearly and well, is someone who is articulate. So it's a quality that someone can have, and because of that connotation, when it's used um, as a verb, it carries some of that connotation with it.
So I had one. There was an incident, and there were two students, and one of them articulated their answer very well, and he
Yep.
got some scores, but the other one he couldn't articulate himself.
Yes,
Why
that's
did
right.
said articulate himself? What does it
He
mean?
he couldn't. You would say he couldn't articulate. You could say he was not articulate in his answer. He couldn't articulate clearly.
He couldn't articulate clearly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's also, you're not saying that he's not smart or doesn't know. You're just saying that he couldn't express it.
He couldn't articulate himself.
Mm.
But can you because so how do you I mean correct this sentence grammatically? The students couldn't articulate
His ideas clearly.
his ideas clearly. Perfect. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And now it's 12:30.